Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to PRANKS, Project Management Knowledge Sharing Session by PMI Indonesia Chapter. My name is Arif Prasetyo, and I'm the VP Communication of the PMI Indonesia Chapter. And today I will be your host. Considering that this is the first prank session in 2021, on behalf of the PMI Indonesia family, I would like to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope that this new year brings more success to all of you and your families. And most importantly, I hope that we can all be healthy and we can all put this pandemic behind us. If this is your first time attending our session, welcome. I hope that you will enjoy this session. And if you are joining us through our YouTube live stream, hello and welcome to you all. Today's session, we will cover how Bluebird embraced the wave of digital transformation and embarked on its journey. So we will be also getting some insights of how the transformation has been impacted by the pandemic with all of what is happening. And then if you are not aware of what or who Bluebird is, for those of you who are joining us from outside of Indonesia, Bluebird is one of the largest and most respected transportation company in the country. They deploy more than 30,000 vehicles in 20 cities spread all over Indonesia. And today we are joined by Bapak Paul Sugianto. He is the Chief Strategy Officer for Bluebird Group. And he completed his bachelor's degree, just very quickly to introduce you to him. He completed his bachelor's degree from Universitas Indonesia, and then he pursued several master's degrees in global management economics, process engineering, and material science from Germany. Prior to serving as CEO at Bluebird, Pak Paul also worked with Smartfriend Telecom, McKinsey & Company, and also Airbus. He currently also serves as advisor in several companies. And today he is already with us. So I would like to welcome Pak Paul. Happy New Year, Pak. We are very honored to have you here with the PMI members and participants of the prank session. And before we begin, I just would like to very quickly go through basic rules of the webinar for the participants. We will be muting and turning off the video for all the participants so that we can have a better focus and flow of the presentation. If you have any question at any point of time, please submit it in the chat box and put a Q before your question so that we can come back to it later on. We also would like to inform you that this session will be recorded. E-certificate will be distributed to all the participants who join the session, and the auto submission of the Professional Development Unit, the PDU for PMI Indonesia chapter, will be done on behalf of the members of the chapter. And finally, please enjoy the learning session, and later on, please provide us with your feedback. So now I will hand it over to Pak Paul. The session is yours, Pak.
Okay. Hi, very good afternoon or morning, wherever you are. So let me start about Bluebird. Can we go to the slide, please? Okay, next page. Next. Okay, next. Okay, so basically about Bluebird, right? I'll try to give you a little bit story behind it. Bluebird is like a taxi company, right? As a most of taxi company, we face the disruption. The disruption coming like from the Uber-like company, right? It's in Indonesia, we have like what's called as a Gojek and Grab. Okay? They really actually disrupt the market. The disruption actually becoming so heavily that actually we actually facing even like crisis about our existence, because like the competition becoming like so fierce that it's being very hard for us actually to make money. Okay? In the But we know actually facing with the disruption, we also know this is actually the time to change, the time to transform the company. And also with the 4.0 digital, the industrial transformation, the revolution, we are actually now embracing the changes and how actually cope with the changes to still exist and actually influence the market. Okay? Let's let's go to the next page, please. Next. Okay, we don't need to go about that. Next. Next. Okay, go. So for people that doesn't know, that don't know or never heard about Bluebird, give you a little bit background about it. Bluebird has about like 30,000 vehicles. Okay. We are actually serving several markets, where is actually Bluebird and Silverbird actually the taxi market. We have the regular taxi and the executive taxi. Okay. The difference is actually the type of vehicle and also the pricing. For example, the Silverbird usually we started with the Mercedes E-Class and then the Toyota Alphard, which is like the upper range, right? And we also have a Golden Bird. Golden Bird is like a rental service or the limousine service where you can rent like yeah, the the normal used car in Asia like Avanza into like a very luxury car like S-Class Mercedes, BMW 5, whatever you can imagine, you can also rent it from there. We also have a Big Bird, which is the bus services. The Big Bird services actually ranging from a shuttle, which is actually intra-city shuttle and also intercity shuttle. The bus rent service and the bus for the corporate, right? Usually actually to transport the employee of the corporate companies, right? We also have City Trans, which is serving predominantly intercities shuttle. So we have like, for example, between Jakarta, Bandung, Semarang, Yogyakarta, Surabaya, Solo, and so on. Okay? And on top of that, we also have a car ready, which is car auction. So this is an internet car auction and physical car auction. And the last one actually Berkirim or the logistics service. So we have quite big range of services, but we have been hit very hard with the disruption. This is the interesting part. What should we do in the face of disruption and also in the COVID time? Okay, COVID even worse than the disruption we faced before. So I'm going to give you a little bit story behind it, how we still engaging, survive, and even evolving into a new company. Okay. On top of that, you also see on the right side, we have about 45,000 drivers, an employee. We have about 650 exclusive outlet, which is actually the taxi stop inside the hotels, the malls, the shopping districts, to the corporate office, business district area. And we also have about 75 pools. Okay. Next page, please. Okay. This is what I'm going to tell a little bit about the COVID. COVID has been actually hitting the company even harder than we expected before. Just to give you a little bit flair. Okay. When Indonesia got hit very bad, it started actually in March 2020. In March 2020, so just close your eyes, think if you are a C-level executive in a transport company, and suddenly in March, you lost 80% of your revenue. Can you imagine that? So in March, suddenly, you lost 80% of the revenue because of the COVID. Okay. So how should we do about it? Our cost still very high. Remember, transportation company like airplanes or the airliners, okay, And also the ground transportation has been hit very hard, especially when it is related with the passengers. And also remember, most of our customer is actually middle up, okay, where we provide the service to our middle up customer, for them usually to go to their office, for the expats people to go to their office to do their meeting in Jakarta, in Indonesia, on the other area in Indonesia. And then suddenly, because of the COVID, all the flight have been canceled, all the office activity have been stopped. So, and then they all actually main source of our revenue. So can you imagine, in March suddenly 80% drop in our revenue? Okay, because of that, we have to shift directly all the energy to create a survival mode for the company, right? So we call it a pandemic firefighting. So we did and still doing a lot of cost saving initiative. Okay, we are merging a lot of department. We are merging all the costs from the vendor. For example, before this we have to do certain things with three vendors. Now we asking one vendor to do three things. Okay, so so we can actually eliminate the cost and then creating a cost saving around it. So we negotiate a lot. We renegotiate a lot with our existing vendor, and also to create another opportunity with our new partners. After the still, even though we're still fighting with the pandemic, we are also trying to create new image for the company. Okay? This is what we are trying to create. Okay, how to do that? We understand our disruption, right? We understand about our main competitor, which are Grab and Gojek. On one side, we saw them as our competitor. On the other side, we saw them also as our partners. Okay, this is what we call like a competition scheme, where on one side we are cooperate with them, on the other side we compete with them. Right? But we also need to place our company into a new positioning. Okay, how to do new positioning? This is what we call as 3M: multi-channel, multi-product, and multi-payment. I will explain more detail on this later. This is how we differentiate with our competitor. And all of this, including the new logistics service, is actually the seed for the new Bluebird, what we call as a Bluebird strategic transformation journey. Okay, next page, please. So in the transformation, whenever you want to change a company, you want to do like a change process, you want to re-engineering a company or whatever uh, term that you want to use in the transformation, you need a framework. Okay? We are using this triangle framework that we created only for Bluebird. Okay? So the transformation in Bluebird based on the 4 triangle, which is digital business partnership. Okay? And I want to make it like emphasize it very strong in this. Remember, transformation doesn't mean you have to digitalize everything. Digital is not the aim of transformation. Digital should be the enabler of transformation. Okay? The transformation is led by the business, okay? Not by digital. So you define first what kind of business you want to do in the future. What will be the new portfolio of the company? How the company will be evolving from the current one? What are the gap of capability that you have in the current situation to the new situation that you want the Bluebird to be? So you define what the business will be first. Okay. After you define the business, then you take a look. Do you have the digital capability? Do you have the people with the capability? Do you need to elaborate with a partnership? Remember, don't try to do everything by yourself. You will not be able to do that. To give you an example, right? Because my basic actually more in the airplane, right? So Airbus itself, in the new A350, as I recall, only 20% actually built by the Airbus. At the end, Airbus is just becoming an integrating company. 80% of the part that actually building the plane actually coming from their partner. Their company that building the fuselage, their company that also building some part of the wings, their company that building the landing gear, their company that building the turbine, their company that building also like the interior, the cabin. There are also company that doing actually the lining. There are also company that actually doing the headlight system. There are also company doing that uh, freight system for the suitcase, for the goods and everything. So how this company actually successful? Okay, just also remember in the 90s, 80, in the 80s, right? Porsche almost bankrupt because Porsche tried to build everything by themselves. If you're now buying a Porsche car, okay, probably Porsche only built less than 20% of the product, probably only 10%. Most of them actually built by the partner. And also, this is the same way when we are doing a transformation for Bluebird. Don't try to do everything 100% by yourself. Try to find partner that you want to elaborate for a longer term. Okay, this is where you need to think, what are your core competence? What are your specific knowledge? What are your specific process and culture that is your main backbone for the company? Okay. And the last but is actually also not the least, which are the people. Why I put the people in the middle and also in a different color? Because the transformation, the call for transformation is in the people. Okay. You probably will not have all the capability you need when you are building the transformation process. You need to get the people from outside, or you can find it also people inside the company. But most of the time, the result will be actually a mix where you have to find people outside the company and to mix it with the people who want to change inside the company. And yes, there will be some question, how about the people? Do we need to change the people? The people will be suited with the new capabilities and so on. That will depend. In the new transformation, there will be a lot of capability that will not be needed anymore. Previously, you probably have this role, this capability, this job, and so on. In the transformation, probably this job will be obsolete. You cannot use it anymore. It's not valuable for your business. But you need to get a new capability. You need to hire new people. You need to hire new blood. You need to mix this new blood with the old blood to create a clear transformation within a company, and also to emphasize not to say new people and old people. You have to break this dichotomy where people actually trying to differentiate, okay, this is the new people, this is the old people, the new people actually more capable than the old people, or the old people, oh, the new people doesn't know anything about the business, they're just coming and so on and so on. No. The art is actually how to combine the capability that you don't have by extracting the people from outside that you don't have the capability and still mix it with the existing people and still can work as a one company. Okay. So in the digital, there's a lot of things we are doing, right? You see a little bit on the left side, you see artificial intelligence, you see digitalization, you see the, cloudification. Okay. In the partnership, you see like several companies' name that actually now partnering with us. In the business, we have a multimodal transportation. For example, now with the KAI, which is like the trains, the railway company of Indonesia, you can also book a Bluebird when you actually book a a seat in the train. You can also book like a, a taxi to go to the train station, and also from the train station to your destination. Car auction, things that we never thought before, right? We created like a new car auction, internet car auction. We created physical car auction under the brand of Caredi. We have the intercity, and you will see more about the logistic later. Okay, for example, in the business portfolio, we're creating also like Trans Java network for Bluebird, where we can actually for people actually can travel intercity in the Trans Java backbone. Okay. Next page, please. Okay, so MAS, this is mobility as a service, as already shown in the last page. This is actually our goal, how actually we can create a mobility as a service. Okay. How we are going to differentiate and to clear our positioning in the market. Okay. Our tagline is multi-channel, multi-product, and multi-payment. Okay. What are the difference? Why we are using this open platform? as all our competitors actually going to the super app. Okay? They're actually going to like new singularity. They try to converge into new singularity. Why? You want to book everything into Gojek application. You want to book everything into Grab application. Okay? But to book Gojek and Grab, you can only book it from their application. So to book a ride hailing, you can only book it from their ride hailing application. The approach that we are doing actually different. Okay, you can even now book us from my Bluebird app. You can even book us from the railway station, railway company of Indonesia. You can book us from the travel agency. You can even book us from another taxi company outside Indonesia. You can book us from the call center through WhatsApp. And for corporate customer, you can book us from corporate portal and logistic portal. For product, most of the product that actually provided by in the transport area for the ride hailing company, they went into converse, right? They're only going to like two-wheeler or four-wheeler. We are doing differentiation here because we are actually aiming for differentiation in our customer. So we have like for mass transport, we have a big bird, and for like very executive, we have a silver bird, and we also have a logistics service. Okay. And the last one, the multi-payment. As most of our competitors, they converge into like one payment only, right? Okay, they have also like credit card and so on and so on, but because the e-wallet that they are working in is actually the e-wallet belong to the company, therefore they're focusing only on their e-wallet. That's our difference. We are working with different e-wallet. We are accepting cash. We have e-vouchers. We have QR code, QR payment of Indonesia. We have credit card and debit card. Okay. Next page, please. So this is actually our tagline: multi-channel, multi-product, multi-payment to create a very different positioning from our competitor. So that's one of the strategic approach actually, how you create different positioning compared to your disruptor, so you can still very exist and still very focal in the market. Okay. Next page, please. So the different also what we are saying actually give you a little bit flair. Okay. 3-4 years ago, if you came to Bluebird, Bluebird doesn't have even a didn't have even marketing department. The only IT department that Bluebird had that time is only for the help desk support, ERP, and then the call center. That's the only thing that Bluebird knows from IT. Okay, so how can you transform the company that actually like very conventional product centric to modern data driven and customer centric company? So that's actually what the transformation is doing. Okay, next page, please. Okay, to transform the company, okay, one of the transformation you need is actually digital transformation. But as I said again, don't make digital transformation as your goal. Digital transformation is only enabler. Business define where the company has to go. Business define what the company will be. Then after that, we ask the digital, what kind of digital we need to provide to support the transformation. For that, number one, we need the will of to transform. It means the shareholder, the BOC, BOD, they all have the same mind, which is actually to transform the company. You need to create a big buy-in from the shareholder. After that, how? Empower the employees. How you to do that? Create a clear message. You create a new organization. You create a disruption. You create a new process. Okay. You create like how actually to a new incentive model. You create how to empower your employees. Optimize your operation. Okay. Bluebird already like very strong in the operation. Can see actually Bluebird is a leader in the operation. How to create our operation so efficient to manage all the vehicles. And next one, how to transform the product that we have and engage the customer so customer know what we are doing. Okay. Just for your information, I give you already like a new flair. Wait within 2 weeks, there will be a new application will be published for Bluebird. Within 2 weeks, we will have a new application. Just wait and see. You will see the difference in the application compared to the application as we have now. Okay, so the digital transformation is also impacting how we communicate with our customer. So, but more information about that you will see within 2 weeks time. I cannot give you further information about that. Okay, next page, please. Okay, yeah, this is just like what kind of transformation we're doing: digital mobility, better accessibility, migration to cloud, customer-oriented service, multimodal, what we are doing with train, with the railway, with the bus, efficient operation, and the cashless transaction. Okay, and all of that actually supported by the MyBlue application, IoT device, cloudification, artificial intelligence, and then logistic portal. Let me talk a little bit about IoT. As we are actually doing like a differentiation of our positioning to the market, our competitor base everything into mobile device, where every engagement actually in the mobile device of the drivers. The difference with us, we actually going to different approach, where actually we are using IoT inside the taxi. So for the people that are already using the taxi since, let's say, July last year or August last year in Indonesia, they will see a new touch panel inside the taxi that is actually replacing the old radio communication inside the taxi. The IoT actually a new device that actually controlling the communication, controlling the tracking, and also to create a safety and to actually eliminate the possibility of fraud that can be done by the mobile. Okay, so that's also our different positioning. We can ensure our customer with the IoT device, the safety of our customer, what happened during the journey, because we put sensor inside our IoT. So we took a different approach how to differentiate ourselves, which is actually not to put the technology inside the application. We put part of the technology also inside the hardware inside the vehicle. Okay, next page, please. Okay, so next one actually about the logistics service. As a company, you need to be agile. Okay, when the COVID hit, you know, the passenger, everything with the passenger will go down. What is growing? The logistic, transporting good. So starting March, we created actually a new business unit to actually transporting goods within our fleet. Okay. So we also transporting intercity using our intercity shuttle. We are doing like heavy goods, parcel, heavy parcel, expensive things. The difference with our competitor actually, why? We have multimodal for our logistic. So not only, for example, so our competitor, we only focus on like on the vehicle. We have expansive network, user-friendly monitoring, timely delivery, and this, if you take a look on the right side, we even created a dashboard, okay, for our logistic business unit within 2 months. Within 2 months, we have created a new system for our logistic with our dashboard system that can be used directly with our customer. Most of our customer is corporate customer, by the way. Okay, so this is the interesting one. Even in that such pressure of the COVID on the stress and so on, the team can manage to create a new business unit, a new service, even with the tools, the application, the dashboard, and so on within that couple of months. And the interesting one also, you won't believe it, the business unit actually that leading this product is very young guy. He's only 27 years old. Can you imagine, like 27 years old, young person leading a new business unit in Bluebird, leading the logistic, creating all of this. Okay, and of course, we leverage a lot with our partners. As I said before, don't do everything yourself. You won't be able to do that. Okay. Next page, please. Okay, this is just like a little bit example of our customer. We have like JDID for corporate. We have Freshbox that delivering like fresh products like vegetable, fruits, and so on. We have Paxel, the startup for logistics. We have Indogrocia. We have Kereta Api. We have Ismail. We have Union. So this is the interesting one. Okay. Why Freshbox changing their retail or transport to Bluebird? Number one, because they want also to differentiate. Very funny thing, I just met with one of the high level person in BCA this morning. So I have a meeting with them. And he mentioned directly, yes, I'm actually using your delivery for Freshbox. Okay. Why? This is also our differentiation. Okay. Can you imagine to deliver a fresh good, fresh product without I get contamination or get contaminated by the pollution on the road? Okay. So all the product in the fresh box, okay, is delivered with a taxi, which is actually like climatized inside the car. So don't get interaction directly with the dust and also pollution from the road. And we compete for the how can we actually make Freshbox price compete with the two-wheelers? We also apply new technology. We created a multi-drop system for our product. So our taxi can do a multi-drop where actually can create a price that is actually very, very competitive from the other companies. Okay. Next page, please. And it's just like what will do more in the future actually to get a more internet work of our product. So we have a driver apps, we have corporate portal, we have logistic service. The idea is actually how to create an integrated application across our product with artificial intelligence, which leverage a lot with the partnership and our customer. Okay. I think it should be it, right? What is the next one? Next page, please. I think it should be the last.
This is the last slide,
Okay.
Paul.
So that's actually all about, you got a little bit insight about Bluebird, about the transformation journey. Okay. So I'm available for question, and yeah, if you have any question about it, yeah, I'll be available for several minutes after this.
Thank you so much, Paul. Very interesting topic indeed. Transformation, disruptions, and how Bluebird is embracing. So we have actually the majority of the PMI members are coming from an IT background or IT industry. So before we go into questions in those areas, I would like to just come back to the aspect of people. Paul, if you can elaborate a little bit more. In the triangle that you shared with us, the strategy you mentioned is to basically mix the existing people or competency that you have, that Bluebird has, and also to bring the new set of competency required to go and perform this transformation. My question is, or the question is, how do you bridge a competency gap that Bluebird has, or is there a competency gap now? And how much of this new competency is considered as maybe a core competence of Bluebird right now?
Okay. So as you know, like we are actually creating a lot of new business, right? For example, the car option, the logistics service, the multimodal transportation, and so on. This is the capability that we don't have previously, right? We didn't have previously. Okay? So therefore, we need to recruit some new competency. Okay? This is the interesting one. Or you can build from the current one. So, but you need to bargain. To build from current one will need more time compared to acquiring new skills. Okay? So how much time you have compared to the projection of the impact that you want, so you can make decision on that. It's very trivial, right? It's very clear question and answer process. So depend on the need, the time, the money that you have, and how much you want to bargain with the risk.
Okay. And a follow up to that, but it's a question from one of our participants, Gaurav. What would then be your recommendation based on what you've learned so far to align this strategy from business, digital, and partnership and integrating the people aspect to it? How do they get the buy-in and to get everyone aligned?
Okay. You mean like to get the buy-in from the BOC, BOD, and so on? Okay.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
stakeholders, basically. Yeah.
No, this is okay. This is the difficult job. Very, very difficult. Very, very tough process actually to convince them. Especially when I'm also like creating a new business, right? People always asking, okay, what are the ROI and so on and so on and so on. It's like a normal question. The good thing actually, our BOC and BOD actually, they are actually future thinking people. That's the difference. Okay. Can you imagine Bluebird? The assets of Bluebird have actually more value than the market share value of Bluebird. For some people, especially like the normal like Dow Jones Stock Exchange people and so on, they will actually okay, why don't we just sell the assets and then value the money from there? But this actually the different the culture of Bluebird that actually attract me to the company. Okay. The founder, which is actually powerful. So I'm not talking about nonsense about this. So how he attracted me to this company? It took him a long time for him to convince me. So it took him actually 1 year to get me into this company. So he already approached me for 1 year. But once I remember very exactly like the way he said, right? But think about the 40,000 drivers that we have. You multiply it with five, you have 200,000 people. If this company is going to be bust, how about the future of these people? So he put the value in front of the money. So that's actually the value that I'm looking for a leader. Okay. So he's not actually leading the company anymore. Actually, he's in the retiring because he want actually a new generation. Therefore, I also coming to the company. That's therefore also like why I joined the company. So I joined the company not because of the money, but because of the value of the company. That they actually like bring more sustainable relationship compared to talking about the money.
Wow, that's quite remarkable, but the point of view, right? And as I understood from the presentation earlier, it was already a plan for Bluebird to conduct this transformation. And then in the middle of it, the pandemic happened. And then things had to basically change and get adjusted and so on. Does Bluebird see this pandemic as a catalyst to move things a lot faster? Or how did it impact the strategy from the beginning as it was planned?
So this is what I always say. So like one of my teammates, Isha is not here. The wording that I use with him actually adaptability. The company actually how to survive in the future is not about agility, how to move fast beyond it, but no, it's about adaptability.
Hmm.
So I'm actually revoking like the agility concept, but how actually you adapt with the market and be strong enough to be even influencing the market and to be adapting again to the market. Right? The COVID forced us to adapt even more faster than before. Okay. Can you imagine like to create new business unit within 2 months, to create even like a tools application to support the business within 2 months? Okay. They're actually a remarkable things. And also to choose somebody that is like so young to lead the department. It's
Yeah.
also like an amazing thing. And this guy actually doesn't even have an experience in the logistic area. But he got the support from also people that already have experience in the logistic. Okay. So that's the difference between the organization that I created. So we created a new organization we call like Strategic Transformation Office. The difference is in this organization, I'm looking more to the people instead of where they actually studied or what experience did I have? Okay. I have one guy actually leading the partnership, which is actually one of the core, the core of the transformation. He's also only about like 26 years old. His background actually he's studying nutrition, nothing to do with the strategy, nothing to do with the business. But what I saw in him actually, the willing to change, okay, and also the desire to move things, and there's also stubbornness, even in the difficult situation. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. And also, we have like a guy who's studying politics that leading the strategic department. We also have somebody, people like from criminology, doing also strategic paper for the company. Okay? So we have like different background that actually making the diversity into like a very new power inside the company.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
it
not looking
triggers
for
some
people,
out of
yeah,
the box
yeah, I'm not
thinking
looking
as
for
well.
like specialists and so on. Looking for like more people that can be generalists with different background that we have a very can-do attitude to change things. Yes, it is tough, very tough. We have like a very tough department. We have like the craziest working hours. We have the craziest thing, but we also have satisfaction because we are doing new things. We're implementing new things, the one that never imagined before.
Mm.
Right?
Okay, very good. Thank you, Paul, for that. And I'm combining a couple of questions with regard to autonomous vehicles and electric vehicles that Bluebird have already introduced earlier. Do you have any? Do you incorporate those as your future strategies for, for the low carbon economy and so on?
Okay. Uh, okay. There is no one right answer for this because it's very difficult situation. Okay. In the autonomous, we have 5 level of autonomous vehicle. We have 5 level. Okay. Can you imagine which level can be deployed in Indonesia? Probably only level 1 or maximum level 2. Yeah. The road in Indonesia and the technology in Indonesia is not suitable enough at the moment to support the level 4 or level 5. Not possible. You need more time actually to create infrastructure to enable that. So people are thinking very easy, like, oh, we have autonomous car, let's deploy it. Think, number one, autonomous car need to make a very quick decision whenever something happens. For example, a car is coming, you have an accident you can avoid. The car has to make decision. It will hit an old woman or it will hit a young woman or young boy or old guy. So this decision has to be done within nanosecond. To create a decision in nanosecond, it means you have a very, very fast network. So the sensor coming from the car can be processed in the AI in the background with a speed that's fast. So you need at least 5G network and an AI to make decision, especially the ethical decision process. For example, another ethical decision, right? If you don't hit the other car, you will fall down into the cliff from the cliff. Which decision the autonomous car has to make? Don't think too simple about autonomous car. Behind it, you need a lot of artificial intelligence to make decision. And the problem with the decision, especially when it's related to the ethical related decision, are you going to get somebody killed or you make yourself kill in the accident because it's unavoided? Don't think too easy about, oh yeah, we have autonomous car, let's do it. People don't think behind it. Don't think about artificial intelligence needed about it. Don't think about the infrastructure needed about it. People think too simple because they just saw an autonomous car can park itself. Parking is not an ethical decision. Parking is very simple AI process. The difficult AI is when it's getting dark, when the network getting slow. What happens when suddenly you loss of network? How can the AI make decision for your autonomous car?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't think too simple. Very easy to ask question like that, but don't have the background about it.
Yeah. But in terms of like the electric vehicles, is it still going to be part of what Bluebird's strategy will be
Of
going forward?
course,
Yeah.
of course. So we are probably one of the first taxi that implemented the electric vehicle, right? We are also the first taxi that implement the gas, the LNG inside the car, right? But actually is actually cleaner than the current fuel, right? So we are actually aiming to implement more electric vehicle. But as a company, we also need to wait the timing. Because of the COVID, we are trying to shift the investment. So when the investment ready, we put directly the electric car more into the system. Yes, we are planning. Just wait on that. We're actually planning to get a new launching quite soon.
Hmm. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Pak. And I don't know if this is something that you can disclose to us, but there is a question here from one of our members. Which portfolio from the ones that you have presented to us right now, which portfolio currently has the biggest revenue contribution, and what do you think how this will change in the coming years?
So ask the people that asking the question, what do you think? It's very easy, right? Currently, our portfolio about like 77% actually from the taxi.
Mhm.
But we are now reducing a lot. Slowly reducing because as a company is sustainable. So just think about an investor, right? If you're an investor, of course you want to distribute your risk. You don't want to put everything of your investment into one basket. When that basket fall down, you lost everything. So this is also my job, how actually to distribute the risk in the portfolio. Currently, our portfolio is heavily in taxi, which is bad and good. Why? Because we still make money. Okay. But how actually to distribute more to create more revenue? That's actually our aim. Okay. Just to give another example. Okay. In the disruption. Okay. The disruptor usually actually making big volume and so on by earning money. Very simple thing. Okay. I created like a very cheap product or cheap service so people will buy it and then people will stay. Basically, that's the concept, right?
Yeah.
Now I give you another concept. What is the art, okay, of selling something cheap? Okay. For example, if a product, I don't know, for example, let me give like this pen, right? This pen maybe cost like 20,000 rupiahs, or let's say 10,000 rupiahs in the products in the manufacturing. Okay. The manufacturing cost is 10,000 rupiahs. Now to gain the market as a startup, I burning money, I selling 5,000 rupiahs. So my question to you, if you cannot sell it, then you are stupid. Okay? Can you imagine like the manufacturing cost 10,000, you're selling for 5,000, and you cannot sell it, then you are stupid. Okay. But now can you imagine you are faced with a competition where your competitor selling below the production cost, they're all making losses, right? Whenever they're selling their product, their services. But can you imagine we can still making profit until 2019 before the COVID hit. Even the January, February in 2020, we're actually making a jump in our revenue. So we are making profit when your competitor actually selling below the price. Actually, that's the art. So,
Yes.
so how can you as a company? So for you, everybody that actually dealing with a conventional company that trying to transform and so on, think this very carefully. Okay? It is very easy to sell something cheaper compared to the cost. But how can you compete in that situation and still making profit? That's the art. How to do that? Take a look at portfolio, differentiate, find your market, find your niche in the market so you can differentiate yourself to your competitors and still make money.
Yeah, I think that's a very on the head argument part that because now with all of these startups and all of that, it's a common knowledge for everyone that these startup companies, although they are generating a lot of new customers and so on, they are actually let's say burning in terms of the profitability. Um, but Bluebird has been around for so long, over 2 decades now, and
No, no, no. almost 5 decades. We are
5
48
decades.
years.
Wow. Okay. So even longer. So a lot of a lot of the the reason is loyalty as well of the Bluebird customers, right? In this transformation program, how much of this customer voice was considered when you were building the strategy of transformation?
So there are two approaches about it. Okay, you have to hear your current customer, but you also need to learn how to hear a new customer. Okay. For example, our mainly customer actually baby boomer and the X generation. Okay, so I don't think anybody actually older than baby boomers here. That's just doesn't make sense. Anybody it could be right, but
Yeah.
we need actually to aim for the new generation, generation Y, generation Z, millennials, or whatsoever. Okay, so can you imagine actually if you only hear your current customer, you will not be able to get your new customer. Okay, so Bluebird also need to transform itself so we can get of the new customer, the after X generation, because they will define the future. In couple of years, the majority in the market, in the job market, the one that people actually working and so on, that will not generation X anymore. Okay, the baby boomers probably will not work anymore. They will go slowly to retirement. If you only hear to your current customer, you will lose the future. So the art is actually how to hear your customer, how to appreciate your loyal customer, but also hearing your new customer, create a new way to communicate with new customer. For this, you will hear more in 2 weeks time when we are going to launch our new application.
Okay. Very exciting stuff, Pak. So I think we are nearing the end of the session. If you don't mind, Pak, we were all, I think, no matter what industry we are working with, we were all very much disrupted with what happened in 2020 with this COVID-19. There was a saying that actually a pandemic is not really an unknown or not even a black swan, but actually what disrupted everyone was this global lockdown. The people couldn't travel, and that basically made the economic growth decline in many places. So as a closing to this session, Pak Paul, what do you see, or do you see any other disruptors that could be happening in the next, let's say, 5-10 years that could be impacting the Bluebird business? The unknowns that you are maybe trying to anticipate.
Okay. So I just take a look at the one of the question. Sorry, just like asking about the agile required. Is like I said, Bluebird will be thinking about to provide a solution, pick up from home, getting the flight, pick up in Makassar airport to the hotel, plan button and so on. Okay. Actually, this is what I discussed in the multimodal. Okay. So in the multimodal, for example, the one that we provided now for the railway station, for the railway company, the Kereta Api Indonesia, you can get actually a pickup from Bluebird to go to the train station, and even from your in the destination of your train station, go to your final destination also with the taxi. So we actually provide a new solution on that. All the new solution actually call with the multimodal. Another solution that we actually bringing actually while we are actually launching already, and then we'll be launching a new one, is actually a new solution for what we call walk from Bali. Okay, in this walk from Bali, you will get everything what we call as a no worry package. Okay? In this no worry package, the solution even more interesting, where you can even get yourself to get swab test, antigen, PCR, and so on arranged with a taxi or the doctor or the nurse will come to your home to do the test. Okay, and after that to arrange everything for you to from home to go to the airport, to be picked up. And after that, in Bali, you will pick up also with the Bluebird or Golden Band and so on to your work from home place, work from Bali place. So we also provide that solution. So yes, in this thing, we also created a lot of new solution that is actually segmented for different segments. So I'm just answering one of the question because that's a very long question.
Yes. Thank you for that.
So I got my eyes. Okay. Sorry, can you repeat your last question?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get your insight of what you think could be the next disruptor for Bluebird.
I don't think it's not about like the next disruptor that you need to worry about, but what I need to take care how Bluebird will keep adapting to any situation, any disruption that will come. The only thing that is forever is actually changes, right? You always have changes in this world. So if you're like asking what is like forecast, what is the new disruption and so on, forget about it. You don't have the time, you don't have the technology to know everything about disruption that will come. Then the good thing actually, how you can leave a legacy in the company to create a company that can adapting to any situation that coming, so we can survive and even be a winner in the market. I hope that answered your question, Arif.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pak Paul, for, I think that concludes our 20th pranks session and the very first one for 2021. Thank you so much, Pak Paul, for sharing your insights and taking time from your very busy day and spend time with us, the PMI Indonesia members. We would also like to thank the participants who are joining us both from Zoom or from the live YouTube stream. We thank you for your enthusiasm through your questions. And if you enjoyed the session, then please, inform your colleagues, inform your friends to join our next ones. We run these events monthly, twice a month actually. And we are always happy to hear the feedback from you. We also thank our Indonesia chapter volunteers who are always working behind the scenes to make this event happen. And thank you so much again and enjoy the rest of your day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Photo session first, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes. If you don't mind, let's take a quick photo session. Everyone, if you could turn on your video cameras. Okay, Dave, let me know once you are done.
Okay, I will start to take the picture. There's 4 pages. Okay, completing the first one.
Paul. Paul Sugianto.
Yes, somebody calling my name.
Sorry. I share this with my husband. Sorry, sir.
Yes, sorry, I already complete capturing the picture.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pak Paul.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay.
Bye. Thank you so much, Pak Paul.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you so much, Pak Paul.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Pak Paul. Lot of
Thank
insight.
you.
Thank you.